earlier on, we'd spoken to Mobalanle Adesuyi, correspondent on ground, and she's still on ground and will be able to give us some updates from the protests happening today. Hello, Mobalanle. Just before the break, just before we had to go off earlier on, we had asked you if you could speak to some of the protesters to ask them how they felt. Number one, about the president's speech. I don't know if they had the opportunity to listen, but the National Youth Conference being as announced by him, and if they are willing to work with the president on that.
Okay, I could barely hear what you said, but for some more updates on what's happening right here on the protest ground, I've got one of the organizers of the protest who will be speaking to us on what their intentions are for this protest. Good morning, tell us your name.
Good morning, my name is Adeola Samuel Ilori. I'm the National Coordinator, All Electricity Consumer Protection Front.
Tell us why you are here, what are your concerns?
Well, we are all here, and I particularly mobilize my members to join the protest because let me talk about my areas of concentration, which is electricity. We've had enough fraud in electricity so far so good, especially in the areas of tariff and all other line materials that the consumers are about to use free of charge, in which they have been encumbered with providing. And so, for whatever it was, if we cannot be part of this to let the government know that for so far so good, it has been a sham when you talk about the power sectors, privatization, what have you. And the Bible says if the foundation be destroyed, what are the righteous do? The destructions and the sham in the privatizations of the power sector from the beginning create all these problems we are having, and it's permeating completely all around. Because when you say you put somebody in band A, and let's say, as they said, they put 2 million people in band A, and you are generating between 3,000, 4,000 megawatts per day for 200 million people. How do you want to share it that only band A will be covered? Not to talk of when you have band A, you have band B, band C, band D, and band E. Let's take for granted that band E is looking for 4 hours. But what are the people you promise 12 to 16 hours, which is band C? People you promise 18 to 20 hours, which is band B, and the 20 to 24 hours band A, which you have criminally increased their tariff recently. Criminally, because as much as I don't want to talk about, because my group is already in court with NEC, challenging the propriety and not following the process of the law for increasing that tariff at the Federal High Court Ibadan. Presently, November 13 is the next adjourned day. I don't want to talk much about it, but let us look at people in band B. How much are you giving to them? Ordinarily, before the criminal increase of the band A tariff, they are paying 68 naira 80 kobo, and yet you have not even meeting the so-called hour that you promised them. And so the reason why we were here, and generally speaking, when you look at the Nigerians in entirety, I call Nigeria this morning a giant in a dwarf body, because everything that makes a nation is not there. We are not progressing. When the government people in power say Nigeria is making progress, I look at them and I look at the indices of being progressive, and I look at the other nations, even in Africa here. I've been to Rwanda and other places, and I saw things, even Lagos State, that claim to be a pseudo mega city. What is mega in Lagos? Look at death all around. Look at potholes on the streets of Ikeja, not any other place. And you say we are progressing. What is progressing when you see how under a franchise disco community that is still getting 4 hours per day in Nigeria, the so-called giant of Africa, 4 hours is preposterous to me, and there's nothing to proud about. So when we talk about progressing, it is only the people in government. Whenever they make a policy that line their pocket, they are progressing. Whenever they buy things that they are not used, they can't use their own money to buy, they are progressing. Anything about Nigeria, when Nigerians are not satisfied, when Nigerians are not benefiting from the so-called progress the people in power are breaking, they are not progressing. Number two, the fact remains that the people that are celebrating today are in Abuja. Those people that we buy free fuel for, we pay their rent, we buy new car for. The people that they don't pay for health facility, those are the people that can be celebrating, because the Bible says in Proverbs 29:2, when the people rejoice, it means the righteous and in power. He now quotes it again, when the wicked rule. the people more. As at today, go around and do Vox Populi. Nigerians are money. I am money, not because I cannot eat, but when I look at my pocket and the people that are asking me for free gift, I look at it like, God, is this how you created us? But some of the time, we say we are calling on God. God has given us that which we can use to progress. But the leaders we have, they just being wicked and continue to impoverish us. That's why we are here.
Hello, Omobolanle.
Okay, we have another.
Yes,
I can
no,
hear
just
you.
an intervention from this end. Could you ask from some of the people you've been talking to, what actually is the program for today? They're in Ikeja there. Are they going to go from Ikeja to Alausa, or they will go to the Independence Parade Ground and make a presentation to the governor of Lagos? Because, I mean, the last time they moved from Ikeja bus stop under the bridge all the way to Alausa. What is the plan for today?
Yes, Dr. Abati. Dr. Abati, that is spot on, because right now the protesters are moving from this particular place, Ikeja Underbridge, straight to Secretariat to air their grievances at the seat of power. And so you can see the procession already making that move. And we are also moving with them to catch every moment and give you a blow-by-blow account of how things pan out right here at the protest ground. Dr. Abati.
All right. Real quickly, I asked a question before. Can you ask the? Can you hear me, Bolale?
Right here.
Bolale, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you ask the next protester
Yes, I can.
that are they going to be part of the president's youth confab? That do they want to discuss with the president, with the government in the president's youth confab? Just ask them, please.
The president's what?
Confab, youth confab. Youth gathering, youth conference.
Oh, all right, yes. All right, as soon as I'm able to grab one of them, I'll ask that question. Because right now we are in motion, trying to move with the crowds to the Secretariat and get what the next line of action or point of action would be. But I can speak with one of the protesters here to talk to us about their interest in joining the president's youth confab.
Okay, my name is Alfred. We don't know how we got here.
What organization are you representing? What group are you representing?
For now, I just want to just say I'm a Nigerian. That's why I want to be identified as. And of course, one of such Nigerian youths who is fighting to ensure that we have a better country. We don't know how we got here suddenly, where you now have a country where we are supposed to jubilate today and celebrate today, and we are saying we are laying blames back to the likes of Adeola and therefore taking the independence too early. We feel that it could have left the British some time for them to have developed this country, because our politicians over the time have failed us completely. The corruption is at its mass, and we cannot continue like this. That's why you see us here out in numbers, and of course to give out our grievances. What are the grievances that we are talking about? Today we are looking at why our journalists today, they can't even do their work completely. These are the questions we are asking. Why the detainees?
How do you mean journalists are not doing their work?
Because we also have now, also as we're speaking, Dr. Abati Orufa, I don't know who is actually in the studio right now to speak. Some journalists have been detained as we even speak now. From the last movement of the end governance protest that we did, they are still in detention as we speak, and some also are still in detention. Why is this happening when we have a president like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself, His Excellency, who is the chief of protester? He taught me how to protest. He gave me the boldness on how to speak confidently to the Nigerian government. He did this 12 years ago. You need to see how Bola Ahmed Tinubu will campaign and do all he can to ensure that the Jonathan administration will do nothing but the best to deliver. Now he is there. Why would we have a detainees, protesters detainees today in Nigeria when we have a president like Tinubu?
this is not good. This is not good. If Tinubu can hear me today, he should know. He trained me. He gave me the boldness to speak to the authorities without no fear. Why is all this happening today when he is in power?
All right, would you like to join the President's Youth Confab so that you can be a part and lend your voice to the policy making and all of the decision making in the country?
Say that again quickly.
The President's Youth Confab, would you like to be a part of it?
Of course, of course. See, what is happening here today is any Nigerian that is with his senses, if you hear anything about protests, anything that will move Nigeria forward, leave everything you can do to come out. Today now you see, because hunger is hard in the land, you cannot even see. Before this time last year, Big Brother would have been trending everywhere. Today is not. It's like I was asking yesterday night that is it even holding and is it even ongoing? Nigerians should no longer care about even Big Brother.
Hello, Bolanle, if you can hear us from the studio.
Or it's happening, Nigerians are not
Bolanle, if you can hear us from the studio.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, I think that's fine. I see that the gentleman is walking backwards. Maybe we'll give you time to find your way with the protesters to the secretariat, and then we'll come back to you certainly. But meanwhile, let's go to Port Harcourt, where Omano is on standby. Omano, good morning. What's the situation like in Port Harcourt? Are the protesters out on the streets or the place is calm? Andy Omano.
Thank you so much, Doc. The situation here in Port Harcourt is tense. Why did I say it's tense? It's tense because we've been on the streets since 6:37 and we've traversed different protest centers that the initiators of today's October 1st protest had told us as yesterday that they were going to converge. First of all, we went to Pleasure Park on the busy Aba Expressway here in Port Harcourt. If you are very conversant with Port Harcourt, the major street in Port Harcourt is the Aba Port Harcourt Expressway. That's where you have the Pleasure Park. That treasure, I should say. They were dispersed from there by no-nonsense 10-looking police officers with a combination of what I can describe as political thugs, as it were. And so, the rule of this game is safety first. We have to take a cover, exit there, and fall back to what used to be the epicenter of the last bad governance protest, also here in Port Harcourt, the Federal Secretariat. The same situation played out there. Security men were on ground and a combination of thugs. From there, we moved to Rumola. As I speak with you now, we are in water parks. We even have to take permission from the security men on ground, the police, I should say, before this live crossing is being taken. And we were given instruction, on no account should we put any of them on camera. So what we need to do is to move a safe distance for us to be able to get across to the live studio there in Lagos. What am I saying? It does seem, Dr. Abati, that this protest bill for October 1st today is not going to hold in Port Harcourt because everywhere they go, that is the guys who had planned to protest, they are being tracked and they are being chased away. I'm in touch with one or two of them. They had asked us to come to Waterlines where we are now. But as at when we were driving to Waterlines, I got a call from him again to say the place is not too safe. And so he will get back to me on the next venue where we should contact them to be able to know what is going to happen. And from all indications, Doc, it looks like as if this protest has been thwarted by a combination of the Nigerian police and thugs in the streets of Port Harcourt. There is palpable fear around protest centers, if I'm allowed to use that expression. Dr. Abati.
But is there peace? Is there peace? Is the state generally calm?
There is peace. The place is calm, but of course, in some of those busy areas, there is tension. Everybody is moving and they're being very conscious, unlike ordinary days where people will move losing their guard. Everybody's security conscious. There is tension because you have an avalanche of policemen in strategic positions in the Port Harcourt, the River State capital, which don't used to be the situation. And so everybody is being careful. We eavesdropped and somebody was calling another at home that please don't bother come out. The streets are not too safe. There is no shooting, but police are everywhere. And so please don't bother come out. There is tension, but there is peace.
All right, I hear you, and it seems as if the right of the people to peaceful protest is being suppressed in Port Harcourt, in River State. But there are other forms of maybe people protesting, if I put it that way, or expressing their displeasure. Maybe the first thing I should ask you, because in Benue State, people seem to be quite calm and going to their farms. Have the people of Port Harcourt or River State accepted their fate and just decided to do other things rather than focusing on hardship or hunger as their counterparts in other states are doing?
Yes, Ayo, thank you. If I get you very correctly, yes, there is right to peaceful protest, but that you can only execute when you are allowed to do so. And I think that is what seems to be playing out this morning in Port Harcourt. Nobody is being harassed, but of course, you know, once the streets are over, should I use militarized or police, I should say, people would ordinarily not be too free to move. Nobody is stopped from accessing his or her business place. But what is going on here is that the situation is not normal, and ordinarily people are discussing in one or two groups saying, look, why is this going on? The people are supposed to protest, but others are saying the last protest, the last bad governance protest, what did it bring to people? It was soon after that protest that we have the jack up in the pump price of petrol. And so people are saying, look, even if they do protest today, nothing positive is likely going to come out of it. And so they should just leave them the way they are. They want to brace up and see what they can do until the nation's economy starts smiling once again. Ayo.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you very much, Ando Mano, for that report from Port Harcourt in River State. We'll now go to Kaduna State, where Nisi Gabriel is on standby to give us a report. It looks like what we've seen in Benue and Port Harcourt, but let's hear from Nisi. Nisi, what's happening in Kaduna State?
From the political capital of northern Nigeria, good morning to you, Dr. Abati, Rufai, and Ayo. Well, here in Kaduna State, I think it would be too premature to say there will be any form of demonstration or not. However, residents here are going about their business as usual. There's no sign of any protest, any demonstration like what we saw in August 1st to 10th during the End Bad Governance protest, where it was there were several forms of violence, looting here in the state. But as for today, October 1st, the state is calm and peaceful. Residents are going about their business as usual. However, in a couple of minutes, there will be just a series of activities lined up to mark this Independence Day celebration at the Ahmedu Bello Stadium here in Kaduna State. That event is built to kickstart by 10 a.m. this morning, and the governor of the state and the person of Governor Obasani will be gracing that occasion, more like a march past parade and several other activities lined up just to commemorate this year's October 1st Independence Day celebration.
Okay, maybe we'll just thank you, Nisi Gabriel, since it seems that tension in Port Harcourt, but relative calm, you know, a lot of calm in Makurdi, Benue State, and you say Kaduna is also very calm, and here in Lagos also, it's been relatively calm. So if there is any development, then we'll come back, you know, to this developing story, as it were.